Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Saturday. My colliders, it is myself, Cresta Star, and Iridian. The two-woman power trip is here to give you all your collision needs here on Fightful. Iridian, how are you?
I am doing fantastical, Cresta. How are you tonight?
All my tabs are crashing in Windows. So,
We're
much
starting
like my life, I'm in shambles. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. It does mean a lot to us. And you know what else means a lot to us? If you would give us a thumbs up. You can give us a like, give us a super chat, give us a humper chat, and most importantly, subscribe to Fightful Select, the best $5 in the business. You get all your wrestling scoops here, but more on that in a bit. Like we said, if you like us, send us a super chat somewhere on the screen somewhere. And you can send us a humper chat. Head over to humperchat.com, and we'll read your humper chats live, and we get to keep a little bit more of the portions. And you can tell us what you want. I mean, you can ask us questions. It may not be the answers you want, but you'll get some answers.
How are we supposed to know if you like us if you're not sending us money to let us know, guys?
We need money makes us strong.
And keeps the show going.
Nonetheless, your eyeballs keep the show going as well. Iridian, how are you? What did you think of the show overall this evening?
Man, you and I were talking about this a little bit, I'll say backstage, right? Where I feel like this show, I don't know, I was feeling a little weird. It was a good show. There was a couple good matches, though I felt it was long. Like I'm at the first match, I'm like, all right, great. It's 9:20. We're moving along. And it was not 9:20, guys. It wasn't 30 minutes before the usual women's match. And I'm like, oh my God, we're getting so much in these 2 hours. It felt like a, I don't want to say a 3-hour Monday Night Raw show, but it felt long. How did you feel about tonight's show?
Low-key agree. I think overall the matches and the commentary, especially tonight, were good, but it did feel like a long show. Also, the elephant in the room, Max Castle, what happened? He just 8-mouthed it, and I saw him do this one, but I was like, oh, I respect it, but he didn't even try.
that whole incident. Again, we talked about that in the chats and the DMs were like, oh, what is happening? Literally, that's probably one of the highlights of the show because it's memorable, right? So you're like, wow, Max Caster really just stopped talking.
It was the stop talking, and then it was the like, I'm done.
And then he was like, nah, like he let them know that he was just not going to do it. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, the opening of the show started off hot, right?
Yes, we had a no DQ match from Sammy Guevara versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and no Don Callis family at ringside, and also no Jericho or anybody in Sammy Guevara's corner. By the time this match ended, I looked down at the time and it was 8:23. They gave this match a solid 30 minutes, like 20, 30 minutes. They gave it a good amount of time. I think it was 2 ad breaks and a picture-in-picture.
Yeah, I think it was really good for what it was, especially being a no DQ match. I was not expecting this. I don't go into collisions looking at the card beforehand, so I'm always surprised. Same. So the fact that it was Sammy Guevara starting off the night, I was like, oh, okay. Against Hobbs, which I was like, oh, okay. And then in a no disqualification match, I'm like, please don't. We can't be doing this. I said, this is not good. I don't know if this is like a punishment match for Sammy after what happened with Jeff Hardy. Like, I don't know, but even commentary was like, Sammy, you can't be doing these kind of things. Like you got a kid
out. A family now.
So yeah, I was just kind of caught off guard with this being the first match. Was I disappointed? No, because I feel like this was one of the better matches of the night. I feel like, to me, it was even the match of the night, but
I agree with that. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just
no. No, I was like, yeah, it's just I thought it was really, really great, man. But they both went through it. I feel like with this match, we got enough tables for the rest of the year.
Yes.
But yeah, guys, what did you think tonight? Like, I think for me, it was the best match of the night. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, the start of it was a little bit slow. You had Sammy Guevara before the bell even rang, the ring. Take 2. At the top of the bell, Sammy Guevara gets right up into it. He manages to get Powerhouse Hobbs outside. He's dazed. He's confused. Sammy Guevara takes out the steel steps. He's showboating. And I was like, he's taking too long. I was expecting from that moment on, Powerhouse Hobbs was going to use this young man. But au contraire, I was pleasantly surprised. Powerhouse Hobbs hits Sammy Guevara with 1,000,000 world's strongest slams on the stairs, on the ring apron, in the ring, on the stairs again. But like Iridian said, the tables were aplenty tonight. The lumber companies are quaking. If I'm a tree, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is disgusting. And this is what you've done to my At one point in the match, Powerhouse Hobbs just starts pressing Kevin Kelly. Like, what you say? Give me your belt. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to beat up Kevin Kelly? What did he do? If anyone deserves to get beat up, it's Nigel McGuinness. But Nigel McGuinness was oddly quiet during this. Had a lot to say.
Suspicious.
Had a lot to say with Powerhouse Hobbs was walking away.
Suspicious behavior, right? I completely noticed that too. I said, interesting. Also, I didn't think Kevin had said anything about Hobbs. So when Hobbs started walking over him, I was like, what did you say? I was like, what? What are we doing?
Like Nigel McGuinness was talking crap. You yelling at the wrong guy.
The wrong one, sir. The wrong one.
The belts were gnarly. I was like, Jesus Christ. I had flashbacks to my childhood where my mom was like, who didn't take out the chicken? I was like, there was so many from both men.
Not the flashback. I know, because same.
If you have trauma, give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up, guys. If you're also traumatized by the belt.
There were so many table spots. Sammy got some belt shots. Hobbs got some belt shots into chair shots from Sammy. I'm just going to get to the end because there was a go to hell on Hobbs for only a 2. How Sammy got Hobbs up. There is this spot where Sammy sets up 2 tables on the outside, brings a ladder into the ring, sets up the ladder, goes to the top of the ladder, and then does a moonsault onto Hobbs, and they cut to picture in picture. I'm like, I would too, because this man is dead. That man is dead. Like, I would cut to picture in picture too. But holy crap, we do get the finish where we get a world's strongest slam. We get it finished because Hobbs pushes the ref, because he's prone on a table now in the ring. He pushes the ref into the ropes. Sammy falls, gets the yam bag shuffle, where Hobbs then proceeds to do the world's strongest slam through the table for a Hobbs win. So we have Hobbs going in here strong. And if I'm not mistaken, the meat division match is on Wednesday. So now he's going in with a win to the meat. What did you think of this match, Iridian? Besides it stole the show, were there any things where you were like, ah!
You know what? I want to talk about that little spot that they did with the beer bottles or whatever those bottles were. I'm like, please tell me that those were not actual bottles, because first of all, I've never been to a show where they actually give out the bottles, right? So I'm like, those had to be, of course, people in the audience with like, hopefully not real glass. But man, when Sammy did his little flip over onto Hobbs and then you saw the glass still continue to like come out of there, I was like, this is insane. This is insane. But man, it was exciting. I'm just worried now, like, yeah, Hobbs is going forward now to the Meat Madness match on Wednesday, but Sammy is kind of like in limbo, right? Like, he's not in the Jericho Appreciation Society anymore. And we saw that he's not really with Don Callis's crew anymore, because I guess Don Callis was not checking up on him while he was away. So Sammy's like, nah, I'm not here for that. So is Sammy going to be in the title picture? Is he just not going to focus on being a singles competitor? Like, what are we going to see for Sammy if it's not like in a faction? What do you think?
That is a good question, because I'm not really sure. It was nice to see Sammy cheered tonight. Typically, when we go places, Sammy just gets booed out the building. So it was nice to hear Sammy Guevara not get turned on by the end of the night. So I don't know what we do with him. Maybe they're still cooling him off, cooling him down until Jericho's better or something like that. But until then, I don't know what we do with Sammy. Again, it's nice to not hear Sammy get booed, but typically he's getting booed out the building. So they might be like, I don't know what started the Sammy hate train. I don't hate him, but people just boo this man. They just boo him. I don't know why. They just boo him.
Yeah. He's not a fan favorite. Either hate him or you love him. So we'll see what they do with him moving forward with his storyline.
Yeah. Following this match, we had the BCC with a backstage promo on FTR. Now, this promo was where I started noticing the strangeness, if you will.
Yeah.
Moxley starts off the promo with, you think a 20-minute time draw is good enough for us? Claudio walked 20 miles. I'm like, Weird flex, but okay. You could really call an Uber, but I guess to prove that Claudio Castagnoli is tough and that this 20-minute time limit wasn't going to work for them, pal. And I'm like, okay. And he then says, I'm a freak, but not that kind of freak. I need to be punched to get up. I'm like, what is this? Was an odd promo. I believed it. I believed that they were like, no one cares that you guys want to be like the Honky Tonk Man or the Midnight Express. The past is dead and it's not coming back. I'm like, but that didn't have anything to do with this. Do you have any insight?
Not the insight.
I'm asking.
I really liked this promo. I did notice that it was a little weird because Claudio was just standing there chilling, being a supportive best friend. And then, Mox was kind of like, all right, Claudio, now your turn. And Claudio was kind of slow with how he was, saying his things. So I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, weird flex that you walked all the way to the gym. Great. to meet with William Regal. Great. Lovely. I don't know, man. Something that I did like about this promo is that they were talking about FTR kind of living in the past and that Blackpool Combat Club is the future. So they're like, all you have to do is be better than us, period. Like, that's what you got to do. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm all Blackpool Combat Club all the way.
I'm going to piggyback off of what you said and get into our first super chat. We're the best. I love a ladies' night. Thank you, Wrestling Wind Down. It is ladies' night. Oh, what an
the same dance moves.
That's gonna be us when we get together. We have another super chat from Van Twinblade. Says, hi, Cresta. Hi, Iridian. Y'all know we got a Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Fightful has a Discord that you can join if you join Fightful Select, the best $5 in the business. We've got interviews coming up. What interviews they are, I don't know because I live under a rock. I'm kidding.
You guys need to, definitely join our Discord, guys. If you are already subscribed to Fightful, you should have gotten like a notification or automatically enlist you in Discord. The chat's on and popping. We literally have a section for everything, for Ring of Honor, for AEW, for Indies, for Lucha Libre. So literally everything. I'm moderating a little bit on there. There's so much going on. So definitely, guys, I do recommend it. It's a great time.
Send me an invite. I'm not in it. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, join the Discord. Join Fightful Select. We love you. You're fantastic. After that, we have FTR. Go right after that promo that BCC cut on FTR. We have FTR versus Shane Taylor Promotions, Lee Moriarty, and Shane Taylor, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. This match, not that it was odd. I don't know how to describe this match. This match was good, but I don't know. It seemed out of place. Did that make sense? Like,
yeah. I I don't have any bullet points for this match. I feel so bad, but
all good.
Yeah, but like FTR and Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor, I'm like, all right, great. We're seeing more of Lee Moriarty. And commentary said something interesting that was like, yeah, we were introduced to Lee with the Copeland challenge, the Cope Open. But I'm like, wait a minute, like, no, like we have been seeing Lee Moriarty before.
Yeah, he's been here.
Yeah, I was like, guys, come on, don't just forget. So I don't know if maybe that was like, oh, maybe to Collision, because he had been on Dynamite or Rampage before. So that I just thought that was interesting that they brought that up. But it was an okay match. I guess it was just a little hard to follow, especially when they gave so much time to that no disqualification match. And
yeah,
it's hard to follow a match like that with like such high stakes and so many, crazy spots that I guess this was kind of like a match to like, all right, to ease into the rest of the night. It was okay.
Yeah. I mean, to hit the highlights of the match, Cash Wheeler was really working well. Lee Moriarty was the star. He was getting beat up. He was selling, high flying, and doing all the things he needed to do. Cash Wheeler was working over his arm early. Early too, Dax Harwood tried to knock down Shane Taylor. I respect the gusto, but ain't no way. Ain't no way. Shane, that's a big piece of meat, boy. I tell you what. And Dax Harwood, as grumpy as you are, we get the finish with a blind tag from Dax onto Cash, who hits Lee Moriarty with a sunset flip to set him up for the Doomsday device for a win for FTR. Post-match, FTR compared themselves to cockroaches. Weird flex, but I guess.
Okay. I was going to talk to you about this because, first of all, Right? I was like, that's a little embarrassing. Why would you call yourself a cockroach? That's no, like never. You couldn't pay
You're
me.
better than cockroaches. Please, FTR. Don't ever
Like,
besmirch your own name like that again.
like I'm not the biggest fans of FTR, but like, bro, guys, be so serious. Like you should not be saying that you guys are like cockroaches. And also what I noticed, because I was not looking while they started to cut their promo, I was like, is that Danny Garcia that I hear? So I don't know. Next time you I want to say it's Cash. Next time he talks, listen, because he sounds like a little bit like Danny Garcia. So I was like, oh,
I'll pay attention next time. 'Cause I'm like, do they? Because now I'm trying to recall. Like, I can't. I don't want to lie to anyone. I'm a truther, not a liar. I mean, I don't know. Like, and I just think that's such a weird comparison. I mean, because I am an FTR fan. I would compare, and this is full respect to Christian Cage, but he would be the cop because he's the worst. You guys aren't. Like, you guys are like so good. Like, Tag Team Hall of Fame. If we talk about top 5, dead or alive, Briscoes, and then you, come on now, like knock it off. You know what I mean? I that was weird, but you know what? I understand the analogy. You think step on or stepped off, you think I'll step on me. I'm like, I guess work. Do what you got to do. Do your big one. But Dax did deliver a hard line to bring it back together. He said, I heard that to be a king, you got to kill a king. I was like, oh, bye, Moxley.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Not that that's crazy.
I'm glad that FTR at least responded to this promo, right? But then I'm like, well, man, how many promos are we gonna get throughout the night? Because if everyone's just gonna like respond to each other, then we're gonna have a long show, and a long show it was tonight. But then Tony was like, all right, guys, we've made this match official. At Revolution, it's gonna be FTR versus Claudio and Mox. So that should be a banger, because the first one, I guess it wouldn't be like 2 out of 3, because the first one was like, timed out. So then they each got a win. They need to have, there's going to be so many more matches. Like,
what are the rules? Hey, there's so many rules, man. I don't like rules. I want to watch men slap meat. I don't want to listen to rules. So exasperating. I'm already. I tell you who wasn't tired. Thunder Rosa. She said, I don't get paid by the hour. Ooh, I will give it to Lady Bird Monroe. She was trying to give it back to Thunder Rosa stiff, but wow! You couldn't pay me to wrestle Thunder Rosa. You better give me a finger poke of doom. Thunder Rosa hit this poor girl with a shotgun drop kick in the corner, and I said, I felt that. I never want to wrestle you, Thunder Rosa. You got it. You got it for now and forever. Yeah. It was stiff from the moment the word was go. She was chopping Monroe Bird in her chest. That's not her name, Lady Bird Monroe. In her chest. Bird. I winged it. I'm sorry. I folded it.
I'm dead. Oh my god! When this match came up a little before, earlier than the usual women's spot, and I was like, you know what? I know Thunder Rosa got power like that, because this is not the first time that Thunder Rosa has showed up before the scheduled time. So she's like, nah, you're putting me in the first hour. Period.
I love it. Thunder Rosa's the real needle mover. You all sleeping on Thunder Rosa. I would love a Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo match. I need that in my soul. And
book it, Tony.
Book it. I want to say that at the end of her match, she looked in the camera and said, I'm climbing the ladder because that's what I do. Because I'm the best, and that's what I do. You're living in my world. And I'm like, Deeb ends up delivering a similar promo later about how everybody else is doing this other stuff. And we'll talk about that later. She's like, but I'm going to do it the way that you guys started watching All Elite Wrestling. So, and I'm here for it. I need this.
Yep. The vets of the roster, the women's division. Like, all right now.
Come on now. After that, we had backstage with Renee, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander, and Stokely Hathaway. Stokely Hathaway is a treasure and the worst simultaneously. Now he starts off talking about, I was just tweeting stuff. And did I tweet something at 5 a.m. and delete it 2 minutes later? Yes. I'm like, yo, somebody take this man's mic and his phone. Why would you say that?
Somebody needs to be checking his promos. Like, what does he have written on his little cue card? Somebody needs to double check.
I feel like even if he had the cue card, I can see Stokely have to say, I'm doing what I want. My head hurts because Stokely Hathaway is too funny. So before Stokely starts getting into his real thing, Willow says maybe we should think about what we say before we say it.
Because he really almost called them H words. He's like, I gotta worry about what these, and then he's like, whoa, now, sir, let's backtrack a little bit and let's get it together and restart.
Every time Stokely Hathaway acts up, I'm like, this is why Chris Statlander ran down that ramp and slapped you in the back of the head because of this behavior. What, Pooja, what is this behavior? What is this behavior? Like, it was funnier than it needed to be. And then Chris Statlander taking poor Renee on a walk to tell Sky Blue, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Solid.
On, Chris.
Yeah, period.
I'm here for it.
Doing her thing. And I know she said, we've already like fought, but this time let's be serious. So I'm ready for it. I love Chris Statlander, and I'm just interested to see where this whole Stokely Hathaway thing is gonna go. Like, what are we gonna do? What's he gonna do next? I'm here for it.
I'm here for the antics. That's literally what it is. I'm here for the antics. And I'm here for the antics to a point, but I want Stokely to use his antics and his buffoonery and clownery to worm these girls into some sort of title picture, because I know you got it in you. So instead of beefing on Twitter, Stokely, use your powers for good. We then come up to the trio match of Bear Mountain with Bear Boulder, Jack Jameson, and Braun Boulder versus Daddy Ass, Jay White, and Colton Gunn.
Here we go.
So we get the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, which I hate that name. I gotta tell you, there's so many other names, but I'm also a jabroni. Yay. So the Guns come out with Daddy Ass. No, the Guns come out, then Daddy Ass comes out and Acclaimed, and Max Caster starts rapping, says something about we bring the beef to management, and then he flubs his words once, tries, and then says nope, and does this. Now I feel bad for him. We all forget our lines. I too have forgotten my line at one point in time. But my guy, the show goes on. This reminded me of the time when Ashley Simpson was on SNL and she forgot what she was singing and the track kept going, so she did the honky tonk and just kept going. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say, or the one that she just walked off stage. Like she was like,
she did this and then walked off stage.
and then she out of there. This was the craziest thing because I'm like, sir, like it's like a dun 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 dun. I was like snapping along. I was like, come on, you got it. 1, 2, 3. Like we got.
I would have rolled with the punches. I would have been like, and I forgot my lines. I don't know how to rap.
It's like after the first line about like management having beef with him.
That was so weird. Like
it was very weird, and like he could have taken a whole like other 2-3 beats and then like continued, unless he genuinely forgot and was like, oh. But I feel like he would have been prepared for this unless he literally wrote it that day or like 20 minutes ago. Maybe it was his off day. It happens to us all. But dang, maybe this is the end of the raps. Maybe we just need to calm it down and just play the regular song with the vocals, because if it's not working, it's not working. You can still have Anthony, saying, all right, Chicago, or like wherever you're in, and you could still say that, but like maybe we need to retire this. Maybe this needs to be done because we can't guarantee that it won't happen again, right?
That's true. We have delayed Gratz saying, y'all need to help Max Caster remember his lines. Not Cresta and Iridian being Max Caster's ghostwriters. No. I rap it, I rip it, I rip it, I rhyme.
A little earpiece. No, get back to it, Max. Get back to it.
I low-key agree with you. This might maybe save the raps for pay-per-views, for special occasions, for blood feuds, because I'm not saying that the boy can't rap. For all I know, he could be Lil Wayne behind the scenes. But maybe he's not, and the wells run dry.
And that's
okay.
Shade. That's okay. There's no shade to Max Caster. But like, maybe we should just be, again, saving it for the big moments, like you said. I don't think that would be a terrible idea, because then you're going to be like, oh man, it's a pay-per-view. Max Caster's here. What's he going to say?
Yeah.
It brings a little bit of a hype to it, just I feel like we need it.
Yeah. And I think it'll be good for Max Caster too, to give him some time to replenish the rhyme book. Because you've been going at this for a while. You've been doing it every time, and I'll give you your flowers. That's a lot of rhymes to come up with. There's no guarantee that you're not going to double down or just not feel it one week. So I got laryngitis, so I can't rap.
The laryngitis.
So anyway, now that we finally got past that, the match was what exactly you thought it was going to be. It was a standard match. I have to say that this match, I paid more attention to commentary because at one point I'm writing down Bang Bang Scissor Game sounds like something you would pay on OnlyFans for that Nigel wrote. And then the next thing I heard after that was Titty City. I had to look at like, what am I watching? Is it... I got company. I got people in the background. What am I watching?
And you know what? I guess there was just so many people in the ring or just out there that you're just like, where do I look? Because like the Acclaimed were just there. Like they were chilling. Like they didn't need to be out there. I get it, they're faction, but like what are we doing? It was just interesting. And then bringing, where Juice is injured, so I feel like when he comes back, he might not like this whole idea of this giant faction. He might not like the Acclaimed. That's what I'm banking on. And like them splitting up because, yeah, it was a fun idea, but like, what are we doing? If the group isn't really doing anything, then like, why do we need it? So I feel like they were better off separate. We flew too close to the sun on this one.
Yeah, this is what happens when you let your memes become dreams or memes reality. I will say the best thing to happen out of this is Juice Box, Juice Robinson, because that name is Card Blade or Switch Card was top tier, but Juice Boxes, that's good. I would drink Juice Robinson juice boxes. What do you think they taste like? Is it a lemonade?
Lemonade? I don't know, something
really sugary.
When Juice was originally fighting like Orange Cassidy, they really wanted them to join up because then it would have been Orange Juice. But
I would have been here for that.
So many possibilities. There's still a chance.
Listen, I need my Christian Cage arguing with somebody else's dead dad. So you know what I mean? That's what I need. He gave an address to a cemetery on Wednesday. That's wicked. Wild. That's wicked. I realized I didn't say they finished to this match. It was the Blade Runner on Jack Jameson for the win. I mean, the match was fine. There was nothing, It
wasn't anything crazy. And I feel like it really got overshadowed by the fact that Max Caster forgot his lines because I can't see anything that happened in that match. I'm so sorry.
Like I said, I heard OnlyFans and Titty City, and that's my gimmick, y'all.
You said those are both of my things.
In real life, I'm a child of God. Online, my gimmick is I'm thirsty all the time. Yikes. Yikers on bikers. That's what I will say about that. Poor Max Caster. I believe. All right. After that, we have Lexi Nair with a backstage promo. I feel like I skipped something. No, I didn't. Okay. Next, we have Lexi Nair with a backstage promo from Bryan Danielson. Now, Bryan Danielson must have been hanging out with Nigel McGuinness because I thought he was going to cut a promo on his opponent tonight, Jun Akiyama. He starts off saying, I respect you, June, but this Eddie Kingston yuck mouth, I hate this guy so much. He's like, yo, what? Yo, Eddie Kingston's not even here. Eddie Kingston's not even here. Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson's not even in his match. What is happening? He started going ham.
Listen, when you are the enemy of Eddie Kingston, like there is no off time. You are always thinking about Eddie Kingston. Always.
Eddie Kingston is on your mind 24/7, which kind of has me screaming because it's like, bro, you're supposed to cut a whole nother. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk. When he starts cutting a promo on Eddie Kingston, he says, Lexi, you interview him all the time. What does he do when he comes here? He complains about the boom. He complains about the lights. He complains that you have shoes on. When he said you complain you have shoes on, I was like, yo, all right, not too much on Eddie Kingston. I was funny, but not too much on Eddie Kingston. That was not nice.
That was rude.
Just because it's right doesn't mean you have to say it out loud. I mean, I don't hate it. Because he also said the main thing that I hate about it is not that I have to shake your hand, it's the fact that you are wasted potential, not potential, potential. You had the chance mad long ago, and now in the past year, you're finally realizing your potential. And more than respecting you, I hate the fact that you wasted your potential. Again, not potential, potential. So.
And that's crazy talk, right? Because how are you going to be mad about what someone else is doing? Like, Danielson, I love you, sir. But like, it's your last year, right? Like, he's got more important things to worry about than Eddie Kingston. And then I'm like, Eddie Kingston's got 3 championships, sir. Wasted potential. What are we talking about?
What are you doing with your time? That's so great. How many championships you got right now, Mr. Baby Daddy Bryan Danielson? Like, how many championships you got? I gotta come up with something else. CM Punk is gone, man. no more Christian Mingle, chicken and watermelon. I gotta do something else.
we gotta get the names for somebody else, man.
You know what? If I had to bet on a name, you know what I would use? Bet Online.
BetOnline.ag is the official betting partner of Fightful. 100% of the time when you get the odds from Fightful, they are coming from BetOnline.ag. And it's not just wrestling, it's not just MMA and boxing. It's football, it's basketball, baseball, hockey. They have the earliest lines. You can bet big with the high limits and rebet functionality. They have the fastest payouts with winnings paid in minutes and the industry's best bonuses on every qualifying deposit. They've been trusted for 25 plus years. It's not some fly-by-night company. BetOnline AG has been there. They've done that. In addition, they're trusted by millions. They've got VIP rewards programs and a ton of popular games. BetOnline.ag, that's where I go to make my bets. That's where I suggest you go to, my friends. Please just bet what you can and bet responsibly.
Kate would be so proud of how I forced that segue.
You did not force it. That was amazing.
Thanks. I feel loved and respected in this space. Long story short, Bryan Danielson does not respect Eddie Kingston no matter what he does. And that's going to be funny because I don't think Eddie Kingston's like, really, I don't care if you respect me, but I just want to see you. I want to see you respect me. I want to see it. I want to see it.
He said, it's like, this is Ripley's Believe It or Not, right? You know, yeah, I got to see it to believe it.
So coming up after that, we had Malakai Black versus Bryan Keith. Mm-hmm. Now, my literal first note after I wrote Bryan Keith is warming up too long, I was like, oh, this is finna be a squash. You're going to give this 3 seconds. He doing all this honky-tonking, grandstanding, and hot dogging because Malakai Black about to right in the face. And that's not what happened. I was pleasantly surprised with how much time this got and pleasantly surprised with both of them. Now, I'm a Zelina Vega stan, and if she thinks you're cool, I think you're cool. And Malakai Black was looking real lean tonight. He was looking real brisk. I'm gonna keep it respectful. I want to get beat up, but he was looking real brisk. Okay, so he looked great. Bryan Keith also was working very stiff this match. I mean, Malakai every time he works stiff. Like I have somebody else I don't want to fight. Anyone in House of Black, you couldn't pay me. Again, I'm lying down. I don't care. You couldn't pay me. But Bryan Keith's like, I don't care. My pants is up to my chest, and I'm fighting you back. I love this. I love it. I wear my pants.
That's the only way to wear them, honestly. You get good coverage on that.
I'm about my business, okay? And to quote Andrade, my business is my business, and it starts with my pants underneath my breasts, okay? Leave me alone. So we had Malakai Black get hit with a big boot from Bryan Keith at the beginning of the match, and that's when I started writing, Keith is getting in a lot more offense than I thought. And at one point, it looked like Malakai Black was really taking shots, but much like we see with the Deeb match following this, Malakai Black was playing a different game. Keith is just giving it all he got, and Malakai's picking at you here, so much to the point where in the middle of the match, Bryan Keith's leg gives out when he's trying to pick up Malakai Black to where he's able to capitalize into a top rope gut stomp into a German Northern Lights suplex situation to a spinning heel kick for Malakai Black to win. What did you think of the match before we get into the post-match?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really, really good showing for Bryan Keith. I was very surprised, like you said, to have them get as much time as they did. Malakai, this just also great showing for him because not only is he like helping talent like come up, but like he's making them look strong, even though he's still picking up the wins, which I think is very important. It's something that, like, Adam Copeland is also doing. So I thought this was really, really great. I, even for it was a little slight moment, thought that maybe Brian Keith would even pick up the win.
Same.
And I was like, oh, okay, good for him, but it didn't end up happening. But it kind of made you believe, all right, this guy, it's getting serious. He's the real deal. We can't sleep on Brian Keith anymore, because especially with his pants all the way up to his chest. Love it.
I'm here for it. I don't care. That's my grandma. That's my grandpa. That's the old man from Up. I'm here for it. Yeah. Honestly, too, though, I think that maybe in my mind, I was forcing this. And in my mind, I wanted to believe Malakai Black wasn't taking you seriously in the beginning. Yeah, he was playing a different game, and he's picking at you here, picking at you there, just to ensure the win, just in case you pull something out your bag. But in the beginning, it's like, why am I going to take you seriously, my dog? Also got to give a shout out to the double pop-up cross leg, just sitting there like, what up? You could do it. I could do it too. I got mad space in these pants, bro. It sounds like I'm clowning, but I'm here for his pants.
Guys, swear, it might sound like we're joking. We're not joking. We're serious. This is how we show our love.
I would wear those pants and the Seth Rollins moon boots.
We wear the high-waisted jeans, the high-waisted leather pants with a crop top, killing it.
And with those Seth Rollins big boot, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'd be the most obnoxious person on the airplane.
Not the airplane. Where are we flying to?
Wendy's.
Oh, love it. Jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your super chats in. Get your humper chats in. We are coming up to the home stretch. We got 2 more matches after we talk about this post-match. Yes. So send us your love and adoration.
Yes, guys. Let us know what you think about, the upcoming matches that we still haven't talked about yet. And we will definitely bring it up on the screen. What do you guys want to know? What do you want to know about our lives, about our wrestling opinions? We will answer that. Send them in.
Do it. So post-match, the lights go black. I'm like, black one. What's transpiring here? And it's Mark Briscoe. I was like, yes, get them. Beat this man. Kendo stick, and he did the baby rookie mistake. He throws the kendo stick to show the spike that he has in his hand. You should have beat that man with the kendo stick first. Mm-hmm. Even though I learned this from playing wrestling games back in the day. Even though his whole body is red, his whole body could be black. So beat him up more so he won't move when you go to use your finisher. But in fact, he did not do that. He pulled the trigger prematurely, and Malakai Black was pressing the A button, so he wouldn't get hit with the finisher. The House of Black comes out, beats up Mark Briscoe, and leave him laying, which is crazy to me because I'm like, I thought FTR were your boys, but I guess we saved that for the main event. But that's the story for another time. I was upset. Nobody gonna come out for Mark Briscoe?
That's rude. That is literally so rude. And it's like, you have so many friends backstage, friends, quotations, because nobody showed up. So now I'm noticing things.
Mark Briscoe, if you turn heel, I respect it.
I would understand why, sir. Yeah.
And I'd cap for you too.
The lights going off at the end of this match, I was like, wait a minute, what are we doing? And then my mind, I was like, Mercedes, are you coming out right now?
that's in Boston.
To me, I was like, all right, I guess we're doing, are we doing it now? Like, what's happening? Because that's in my head. I'm like, that's the only big surprise that could pop up, right? Because House of Black won. Who is bigger than Malakai? Like, in this moment right now, I was not picturing Mark Briscoe to play them at their own game. I was like, wow, that honestly, good play for him. And I was kind of disappointed that he just threw the kendo stick. I said, sir, first rule of wrestling, you use the kendo stick. Use the kendo stick. And then I really thought he was going to really nail Malakai with that. And it did not work out. I felt so bad. But I was like, good try, because you had it in the first part.
You're doing everything right. But again, I go back to, this is a problem I've had with AEW in the past. The people who y'all hate the most, there's always someone coming out for them. I'm going to use Christian Cage here, who's literally made fun of everyone's dad and Nick Wayne's own mother. But no one's coming out for Mark Briscoe. FTR, you're not coming out for Mark Briscoe. I get you came out later, but nobody coming out for Mark Briscoe.
Sus, very sus.
This is suspicious. I'm gonna write. You never played those Telltale games that say so and so will remember this. Cresta will remember this. I will remember this. I
like,
wrote it down.
like nothing happens with that interaction except, oh, noted. That person will remember, and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah.
Later on in the game, remember when you spilled my milk in Act 5? Now I'm gonna let you get bit by a zombie. That's a little extreme. After that, we have our second ladies match of the night. I see you. I see you, one Tony Ford Khan. I see you. I see you. We had Serena Deeb versus Lady Frost. I am a Serena Deeb fan. Very happy to see her. And again, much like the match previous, I thought this was kind of going to be a squash. The way Deeb has been cutting promos, like, I'm the professor, you're here, it takes 1,000 hours, and you hoes maybe have 3. I don't know what to tell you what to do. I was here for it. This was a stiff match because Lady Frost is no slouch either. By 7 minutes into this match, there had already been 3 or 4 different submissions on Lady Frost's leg. Serena Deeb is a monster, bro. So Lady Frost goes to give a submission to Serena Deeb. Her leg gives out, and she ends up reversing that. Deeb reverses that on Frost, but then Frost reverses that on Deeb into a cartwheel pickup, like back pile driver. It was really innovative, but Serena Deeb said, okay, I don't need all of that. I'm just going to single leg crab you for the submission win. What did you think about the match before we get into the post match?
So correct me if I'm wrong, comments too. I thought it was supposed to be Serena Deeb versus Kiera Hogan.
They did mention that on the commentary.
And they said, oh, like last minute, I don't know what happened, but
she was sick with the flu and not cleared to wrestle.
Oh my God, so sad, because I was like, I heard this one was the only one that I got like a little spoiled, which was Serena and Kiera, and I was excited because I'm like, wow, okay, like body wise, they like really match up. So I was like, this is gonna be really good because they're gonna be able to work with each other really well. Seeing Lady Frost come out, I was like, oh, okay, it was a happy surprise, but I was really excited to see this one. I do like Lady Frost. I think she's really, really talented. And I think she's different, and that's important to helping you stand out to a roster like the women's division that AEW has. But both women were being very, very aggressive. So I love an aggressive match. Like when I feel like when the hits are hitting and you can see it, I'm like, I'm here for it. I absolutely love that. And I'm not the biggest fan of Serena, but I do see that she works. Like she can put you in those submissions, and I like that type of wrestling. So I do like her style. When I guess we can forward to the end because I want to talk about this promo. Jeez, incredible. Jeez, it was fantastic. But Serena, picked up the win. I wasn't expecting Lady Frost to win. It is what it is, but let's talk about this promo because I know you're excited about what she had to say.
So before I get into that promo, I have to hit these 2 super chats. We got Dylan Dutch with the 2-woman power trip rides again. So excited for whatever Serena is doing next. Maybe Sasha. I would be into that. Because Sasha's submissions, like you really get to see Sasha in full display in New Japan. I'm sorry, Mercedes, because we don't know Sasha. We don't know her. We know Mercedes, okay? And Mercedes in New Japan was redonk. And we also have another super chat from, I always get your name wrong, Orion Ben, and I feel like that's not right, but sometimes you see things so much, it looks like onion to me, and I know that's not right.
It's either Orion Ben or Orion Ben. Either way, thank you so much.
Thank you for the $2.
And Serena Deeb, hard-hitting gals, just like us. Hard-hitting gals.
2-woman power trip, baby. And we talk about the power trip. After the match, Serena Deeb said, when I wrestle, I just do what I come out here to do. The lights stay on. The picture isn't in black and white. And I'm bringing the wrestling back to All Elite Wrestling. I was like, talkish.
Wild, right? Because I was a little slow on this one. I'm like, okay, black and white. And I was like, Tony. Oh my God, that was a shot at Tony. And then I'm like, oh, okay. She said, what else did she say? She said, the screen doesn't go black and white and the lights
stay on. And I'm thinking she's talking about Julia, like.
Yes, exactly. I was like, oh, she's going after the 2 champs. All right. We have a lot of competition that's leading up to these women who have titles because Serena Deeb, you got the Virtuosa. Like
Mhm.
there's these women who are climbing up, and you're just like, are we gonna have room for everybody? Thunder Rosa. Like everyone's working their way to the top. I'm gonna need a battle royal. Like what are we
I
doing?
loved what they did with the Continental Classic, and I
Mm,
think something like that for the women would
mm,
benefit so much because there's so many women. There's like even just now you just named like 5 or 6, and that's just like your main event scene, not including your Kiera Hogans, your Lady Frost, your Nyla Roses, your Red Velvet, your like Diamante. There's so many women on that roster that you can make a star like you did out of Daniel Garcia, out of somebody like you've done with Sky Blue, you know? So
Yeah, it could be literally there's so many possibilities. Again, Sky Blue would be great for that type of like bracket because again, she could be like the Danny Garcia of the group, Anna Jay has really, came to the top. I feel like there's a lot of women who would really benefit from this sort of type of tournament, especially if they're not going to be put into the title picture right away. Like, all right, let's just feature them and have the big end be on Collision because we recap it. So
great.
be there.
I agree with that. And I'm very excited for the women's division going forward. If it takes Thunder Rosa bullying, I don't condone bullying, but if it means we getting 2 women's matches and not at 9:20 and 9:45, I'm with it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I feel like the more and they're getting better because we've seen a couple of other times that they've also had 2 women's matches per show. So let's keep it going, and they're getting a little bit more time. So that's something that we're definitely never going to argue with because we want to see the women succeed. So let's give
Yeah.
them time. Yeah.
And again, I know that AEW has it in them because they've turned so many people. I mean, we were talking about this earlier on Grab City about the whole Google them. I'm not Googling nobody, but you've turned a lot of people into who is that to I am actually going to Google them. I am actually going to look them up. Brian Keith is one of them for me. Lady Frost. I didn't know who Chris Statlander was before this. I've heard of Stokely Hathaway when he was in when he was Malcolm Bivens, but I wasn't really watching. This really put him on the map for me. Willow Nightingale. So I know you have it in you, AEW. So I just want you to be better. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
I'm rooting for you. I'm still rooting for you. So prove yourself.
Yeah, and if you turn things around, I will get amnesia and forget, and I'll always say I was always rooting for you. So,
Like I always saw the vision. I knew.
come on, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm flip flop. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the last match. Again, super chats, humper chats. Like this video. We appreciate you. Let's get into it. Bryan Danielson versus Jun Akiyama. This is someone I also did not know about. They also played that he was wrestling in AEW in 2022 versus Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. And I forgot who they said June's partner was. But he had wrestled for AEW before. Now, there were 2 matches happening during this match. The one physically in the ring and the Cold War between Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson. Because Eddie Kingston was like, I'm not getting on commentary until the men come out, and I'm going to stand here. And when Bryan Danielson came out, this was Eddie Kingston. Like, I hate you. And Bryan Danielson's like, I'm not going to pay this man no type of mind. I got better things to do. When Jun Akiyama finally comes out, Eddie Kingston finally sits down and is like, now I can listen because that was his mentor. That's someone he really looked up to, one of the original Triple Crown champions. But I could not pay attention to this match because Nigel McGuinness was trying his hardest to get Eddie Kingston to talk, who Eddie Kingston was like, I'm trying to watch this damn match. I respect it, but Eddie Kingston was not happy. He's like, I'm trying to watch this damn match. And I understand what you're trying to do, but there's art happening in this ring right now. Shut the hell up. Or Eddie, at least I'm going to shut the hell up.
Eddie, he was just trying to be a good student, right? He's paying attention to what's going on. And then you got Nigel throwing little pieces of paper at him like, hey, what are you doing? What's happening? Like, sir, please, I need you to be so serious because Eddie Kingston will get up and whoop you.
Bro, this is like the school bully trying to turn over a new leaf and you keep messing with the school bully. He's trying to change. Yes. And you know he gonna get in trouble for it. You know he gonna get in trouble. Not you. Because, the bully got a temper. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm. He knows better. He knows what he was doing.
There was a lot of submissions. There was a nice hyperextension on Bryan Danielson from Akiyama. Akiyama was giving Bryan Danielson lariat after lariat at one point. I thought his chest was about to turn to red meat. Woof. Woof. We do get a bunch of label locks. The first label lock came when Akiyama gets to the ropes and was able to get that off. But even from there, you can see the damage was done. There was an ankle lock on Akiyama into a German suplex, which he then reverses into a guillotine choke that commentary put over that he got a lot of wins with that submission. Unfortunately, Danielson hits him with the Psycho knee for the win after hyping up the crowd with the yes chants. What did you think of this match? How did you like how it went down? And do you think it furthered the story with Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson in a positive way?
Yeah, I do think that it furthered the storyline. I'm gonna need Eddie Kingston to do commentary for my life. Or I need him just to speak for me, period. Because I feel like Eddie Kingston just has the perfect responses for everything. Like
yes.
Everything he says is just a little aggressive. So
a little
aggressive. Like even when he's saying like nice things, it's just a little hint. It's there. So I need that. I thought this match was great. Anytime I see Bryan Danielson wrestle, I feel like my knees just crack. I don't know if it's like old age or like I can see it, what's happening, and I'm just like, no, that's not for me. Like I love watching it, but it also like physically hurts me to watch the matches that he has. This is Danielson's last year, so in my head, right, I feel like that has gotten lost in the sauce. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like
they
that.
mentioned it on commentary, but he's wrestling like this is not his last year.
Yes, so that's something that I did like about this specific collision, that they mentioned it, they brought it up, and to me, I'm like thinking about Sting's retirement, right? Of like, you know, every week they make that such a big deal. They have the promos like, oh, he's done, and Bryan Danielson, I feel like he's just having just matches that he wants, you know, just every week. He's like, all right,
have a little bit of fun.
let's fight this person. All right, next week I'm gonna fight this person. Like for me, I need a little bit of story, or just like, keep bringing up the fact that, hey, we are like, this is it. Like, I'm not coming back. Just because I don't have an official date on it, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be done after like these couple months. So I need him to go on like a tour, like a goodbye tour. And I know he's still going to be in AEW, maybe just like in a backstage type of role or whatever he wants to do. But I feel like these matches that he's having, he's having great matches, but it's like, do I remember the 3 weeks ago, the match that he had? No. Do I remember 2 weeks ago, the match that he had? No. Like yes, they're great matches, but I just need a little bit more.
You're not wrong there.
And I don't know if I'm like the only person that feels like that, but I feel like again, comparing it to Sting's retirement, like they're really hitting it home and building towards something. And I don't know what Bryan Danielson is building towards.
I was giving like he's giving his world tour farewell of anyone I've wanted to wrestle or someone I had really fun a lot of fun wrestling. Like I just think of in particular, shouts to Gringo Loco. That time I interviewed him, he said I would wrestle Vikingo every day of the week. And sometimes it's like if I'm about to go out on a bang, I want to wrestle you. We had mad fun. We did this that one time. I get it. And I think when he has an official out date, maybe then we'll start seeing a story start to formulate towards the end. Because then he could be like, well, I want to focus on, I want to beat up MJF for 3 months straight. So let me do that. When MJF resign, come on back, homeboy. When he resign, I'm going to beat him up and then I'm going to go about my business. I think that's maybe what, if I had to surmise or guess, maybe that's what the plan here is, to put on a bunch of matches that he wants to do before he has to put on a bunch of matches that make sense and maybe some that he may not want to do as enthusiastically. Because I think Bryan Danielson just likes to wrestle. So it don't matter who you put in front, he wants to do it. But some people, he's more like, yay. And other people's like,
and like I did like tonight, because with Akiyama, like I have never seen him wrestle before. So I do like that they're like, all right, he was Eddie's mentor and Eddie's there. It means a lot. That already heightens the stake, because, you know, in that promo that Danielson cut, he was like, all right, no, like I really just hate Eddie Kingston. The fact that Eddie Kingston was out there during his match for that mentor, like it was just, I'm like, all right, I see it. You want Eddie Kingston, you know, we're getting things like I need little things to help me. Like, yes, absolutely. This match, big deal.
Yeah.
because I just don't watch. I don't watch New Japan, so I need a little bit more story for this one. But how they did it tonight was great.
Now, what you're saying is valid. I think what you're saying is absolutely valid. After the match, though, we do get Akiyama getting upset at Bryan Danielson for talking smack to Eddie Kingston, and commentary tried to put it over like, hey, knock it off. Akiyama's like, hey, fight with honor. Don't be that guy. So Akiyama put out his hand for a handshake. Bryan Danielson put his hand up and kicked him in the airbag. No handshake for you. What a scum lord. I'm immature. A yambag shuffle will always get a pop out of me. I don't care. I will always laugh. I'm like, how are you going to do that to him? That's crazy. But that results in Eddie Kingston getting in the ring, beating up Bryan Danielson. And then here comes FTR and Claudio Castagnoli, which then I wrote on my notes, where was this for Briscoe? Because honestly, that's a little egregious. I understand y'all got a match coming up, but I thought Briscoe was your boy. Y'all said we got your back no matter what. But it seems that no matter what had a time limit. I'm not mad. I understand why this happened. But if I'm Mark Briscoe, I'm never having beer with these men again. You guys are cut off from the beer circle.
Exactly. I get it. You know, FTR being there does make sense, but they didn't need to be there. Like, it was still 2-on-2. Claudio was just out there. Like, I was confused. So I'm like, FTR had no business being out there. They just wanted to end the show. Like, guys, you could have helped out your bestie or supposed bestie, because now I'm questioning things. That's a little sus.
I hate to be the Jeff Jarrett here, but are these guys your friends? Are they really your friends? I mean, at least I'll tell you I'm going to hit you with a guitar to your face, but are these guys your friends? Curious.
Thinking, I've got my thinking cap on, and it's not adding up. The math ain't mathing on this one.
Listen, math may not be my favorite subject, but I know a stunt when I see it. And this whole show was a stunt, and that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, please consider giving your $5 to Fightful Select, $54 a year. It's the best bucks in the business, and you're going to get your news from us anyway. So you might as well skip a step. Iridian, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, my brain just said no. Let Iridian tell us that no, you're ending this. I know, not yet. Iridian, where can they find you? Let me just...
All right, guys. Well, you can find me and everything else that's wrestling related at Rest Friends on YouTube. Head over to our YouTube channel. That's WREST Friends. We are on our road to 2,000 subscribers. We have 1,800-ish about now. So head over there, watch my interview with Britt Baker. Fantastic, with Mike and Maria Kanellis Bennett, 10 out of 10. You can find an old interview with Seth Rollins, with Elias, with everybody, guys. Go do it. And of course, every Saturday night after the Collision, you can find me with the beautiful, the lovely, the talented, the vocally performative, amazing singer, Cresta the Star. Cresta, where can our viewers find you? Everywhere.
Before we get out of here, we have a late admission to the Humper Chat. We got a late admission. Nelson Muntz at the bell, at the buzzer says, I know Takeshita is facing Ospreay, but Takeshita should have come out after the massive disrespect Bryan showed to Akiyama. I agree with that. And indirectly, DDT, if you've set the C's for 37 Kamina, I don't know what that is, and I feel like a buster.
Met Akiyama maybe, but like...
Okay, versus BCC after Takeshita goes face again. Okay.
Mina versus BCC. Interesting. So see, that's something maybe I missed on commentary that they mentioned that, like, all right, from DDT, like, he trained Takeshita, like, he's like done this.
I don't think they said that. I was low-key paying attention. Sorry.
Like, oh, interesting. Love that. I want the moon for Takeshita. That man is so incredibly talented, and I feel like Don Callis and Hobbs are really bringing him down. They're really diminishing his light, and they need to just push him up. Did you see him with his little Gucci belt on Dynamite? I said, okay, Takeshita, don't hurt him.
He's hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Don't hurt him, Gucci belt.
Ooh, Gucci. Ooh.
All right, Cresta, where can our viewers find you?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me every Thursday here on Fightful with Joel Pearl. We cover all things TNA. And every Saturday, you can find myself here with Iridian. And sometimes Rick is becoming our Sean or our Sav. He's got a real life with real life problems. And every Saturday, I'm here with Iridian. And sometimes Rick going over all things Collision. Every Wednesday, well, until the end of this month. So until next Wednesday, you can find me over on TikTok and Twitch at Cresta Star, where we watch AEW together. Going forward, we're going to be on Fridays. And I heard from a little birdie on Grapsity that Cresta Star has a podcast coming out. Oh my God, you guys should watch it when it does. And keep tuned. Just follow me on X at Cresta the Star, like Megan the Stallion. Is that it? Did we do all the things? Do we have it all? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere on the internet, but you were here with us, and that means a lot. Take care of yourself. Subscribe to Five Guys. No, subscribe to Fightful Select. We aren't 5 guys, but there's 5 of us working here. So goodbye. Thank you. Talk to you later. See you next stream. Bye. This is embarrassing.